Welcome to Volusia Speedway Park in Barbersville, Florida, for the premiere of the Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series. Joey Trapasso up in the booth with you, joined with me by my partner in crime in the production truck, the man, the myth, the living legend, Mr. Kevin Cunyu on cams. Kevin, seems like just a few days ago we were here at Volusia, and now we're back, and brand new Pro Late Model Series, and we're on Sunday nights.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Looking forward to another one here at this track.
Yeah, Volusia, it arguably one of my favorite dirt tracks in the sim. Just so much history here. It's a very fast half-mile, oblong-shaped track. And I'm looking at the lap times for these guys, and I'm nothing short of impressed. Less than a full second between all 19 cars that have taken time so far in the hot lap session.
That's going to make for some exciting racing.
Very much so, and I've seen a lot of side-by-side stuff. Currently, Cody Sieber in the 357 sitting at the top of the pile. John Combs, 47 thousandths of a second behind him. Now, with the speeds that these guys are traveling around Volusia Speedway Park, 47 thousandths of a second is less than half a car length. So, the top two, yes, definitely way up there. Then you got Randy Rockwell, who is another 40 thousandths back. So, throw a blanket over your top, shoot, 5. Because you got Matt Queen in the 007. That's another 10 thousandths back from Randy Rockwell in the 181. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of groupings. I mean, yeah, there's your fast guys, and then there's your guys that are still fast but not quite as completely ballistic as some of the other guys. Fifth place, 16,326 for Mark Snyder in the 114. So,
track is
really, it's just a tight grouping of guys, and looks like they are getting ready to end the hot lap session. As we do need to talk about the elephant in the room. As I'm looking over the timing and scoring screen, apparently our pit steward had his head up his backside when he was handing out transponders tonight, as he gave Bob Klein, who's driving the number 7 car, the transponder that should be in Adam Maddox's number 9. And he gave Adam Maddox the transponder for the 28. So little oops there with timing and scoring, but we'll get it sorted out for you, and just we'll go with what's on the car as best we can. Yeah, hopefully by next week we'll get this sorted out and have a new pit steward that's not drunk. But
so those are just the two to remember, folks. Adam Maddox is going to be coming up as the 28, but will be painted as 9. And Bob Klein will be coming up as 9, but painted as 7.
Correct. So just wrong transponders in the cars, very easy to do. And, while we get going here, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. And while we are waiting for qualifying to roll off, now would be a good time. You can find the link in the description below to the ESBN Teespring store. You can get your short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts, hoodies, baseball caps, throw pillows, coffee mugs. I believe there's vinyl cut decals that you can get to put on your car or wherever you want to graffiti something. And yes, you can get your very own Grandpa Papa Viagra decal. But check out our Teespring store. You can also see links to our Facebook and our Twitter pages down at the in the description of the video. And I'm just nothing short of excited here, Kevin. Qualifying, getting ready to fire off as we're waiting for cars to go out on track right now. And Bob Klein is the first one to roll out. And you see he is showing as the number 7 as he takes the green. First one to do so. Right down on that low lane as they farmed the track a little bit in between the practice and the hot lap session. So these guys have a very fresh, very fast, very packed racing surface. As Klein, actually Nick Weatherby going to go to the top of the pile in the 24. And if we could take a look at Weatherby's car there, real fun looking paint job on the 24. The Nick NRW number
Very
24
cool.
and number on the quarter panel. Normally, I'm not a fan of the way that's done. As Randy Rockwell jumps up to second, Ethan Cameroon sitting in third right now. Mark Snyder in fourth, and let's see, John Combs jumps to the top of the heap. Wow, first one to go 16-1 all night long. Sieber in the 357 tops it. 16-140 for the 357 as he's on his second lap right now, driving that Fanatec 357, coming off of turn number 4 to take the checkers. And Sieber's not going to improve on his time, but currently sitting top of the heap. Combs was able to get within 10 1/1000ths of a second. Now, again, at the speeds these guys are traveling, that's about the distance between the front bumper and the middle of the front axle. That's how close these guys were running in the qualifying trims. As the only one we're waiting for is Phil Daniels in the 8, and waiting on him, but wow. You got Cody Sieber in the 357 going 16-1-4. 87 of John Combs going 16-1-5. 097 of Rod Schaefer going 16-1-6-7. Jared Campos going 16-2-2-6. And Nick Weatherby rounding out your top 5 going 16-2-6-3. So, I mean, throw a blanket over your top. Well, then you got Nick Rockwell, who's only 1/1000th of a second back with a 16. Weatherby went 16-2-6. Okay. Well, according to the official timing and scoring, Weatherby went 16-2-6-3. Rockwell went 16-2-6-4. 1/1000th of a second separate 5th from 6th.
Wow. And
then you're a little bit of a gap to Ethan Cameroon at 16-2-8, then 16-2-9 for Mark Snyder, 16-3-4-6 for Keegan Ewald. Bob Klein going 16-3-5-4. So less than 10 thousandths of a second between Ewald and Klein. Then you're a little bit back, almost a 10th to Tim Prelog in the 66 with a 16-4. Jason Shook Prelog went 16-4-6. Jason Shook less than 12 1/1000ths of a second back to Jason Shook. Then Matt Queen. I mean, these guys are just getting it. It's so close on lap times. As we are waiting for the qualifying to wind on down, about 30 seconds left in that one. So if you got to use a little driver's room, now would be a good time to go, because you're not going to want to miss a second of the heat race action as we're going 6 laps, 6 drivers transfer into the A main. And I believe, yeah, looks like everybody's safely in tonight, as we're going to take 20 into the A main. And currently, yep, 2 heats. Looks like we're not going to need the Consi. As first heat race starting to grid up, starting up on the point, your pole sitter, quick time of the night, 3:57. Of Cody Sieber. He's going to be joined on the front row with the 097. That's Rob Schaefer. Nick Weatherby in the 24 is going to be joined with Ethan Camerud in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Keegan Ewalt and Tim Prelog. With row 4 going to Matt Queen and Richard Metzdorf. Mark Spittlemeister and Phil Daniels starting shotgun on the field. 10 cars scheduled to roll off in this one. Pace truck is rolling. That is the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. So, real excited for this one, Kevin. First heat race of the new series. First heat race of the season. And this is going to be a fun one.
I agree. Very much looking forward to this. Looks like with these gaps, it's going to be quite fast and furious and competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got 4 of your top 6 that we could have thrown a blanket over. Or 3 of your top 6 that you could have thrown a blanket over starting in this one. That's Sieber, Schaefer, and Weatherby. And Camerud wasn't that far off, as Flagger telling them that they are 1 to go as the field works its way through 1 and 2. And down the back chute here, I'm not going to call it a back straightaway, because once you enter turn 1, you never really stop turning until you get off of turn number 4 here at Volusia Speedway Park. Field working its way out of turn number 4. Sieber going to have the button. The pace truck is in as we come off the 4. Green flag in the air, and we are underway for heat race number 1 of the Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series. Sieber, Schaefer, Weatherby, full blanket over them, and we've got one going around. That was Ewalt. No, it wasn't. That's
Matt Queen.
Still crashing. That's Matt Queen in the 007 as yellow flag is out. If we go back and take a look at that one started on the exit of 2 as Queen was chasing it, and all of a sudden just guys ran out of room. It looks like he got Metzdorf and Spittlemeister collected with him. It was Spittlemeister that really finished him off as Metzdorf was able to jam on the Metzdorf was able to jam on the binders. Oh, no, Metzdorf is still parked in turn 3. Not a happy camper. I don't think he can get that one refired. So he's going to have to tow that one.
It was actually Timothy Prelog that seemed to initiate a lot of that.
Yeah, Prelog got... Yeah, you're absolutely right. Prelog got into the back of Queen, and he just admitted to it and apologized. Like, yeah, I don't know who that was, but I'm sorry. And unfortunately, it was Queen. And Spittlemeister caught a face full of race car, and I think he hand grenaded the engine on that one, as looks like the lights just went out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Field's starting to stack them up 2 by 2 as we're going to try this one more time, as it looks like they've got it set up as caution laps do not count. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's always fun. It's sad when these short heat races go by too quickly because of an unfortunate caution.
Yeah, absolutely. As pace truck is in, as Sieber going to have the button one more time, pulls the trigger, and we are underway. And again, just throw a blanket over your top 5 right now. That was the 56 of Camerud getting a little slow in the middle of 1 and 2. And here we go, business picking up. That is the 97 of Schaefer on the inside, Sieber on the high side. Side by side they go. And wow, Sieber really jumped the cushion in 1. So that's going to hand the lead of the race over to the 097 of Rob Schaefer. And he's got Nick Weatherby all over. I'm sorry, that was Weatherby that was leading. And I do apologize. Timing and scoring giving me fits right now. It's Weatherby showing the way, and Schaefer all over his back bumper. Schaefer pointing a nose down the inside. Meanwhile, the battle for fourth is heating up. And that looks like Keegan Ewald and Ethan Camerud just throwing hand grenades at each other as we are final lap. Weatherby still shows the way out front. Schaefer right on him. Sieber right there with him. And Weatherby one more shot as Schaefer. Give that one to Rob Schaefer in the 097. Got the drive off of turn 4 and made it happen. Nick Weatherby coming home in second. Cody Sieber in third. Fourth going to Ethan Camerud. Keegan Ewald in fifth. Last transfer spot goes to Tim Prelog in the in the 66. So that means Matt Queen, Mark Spittelmeister, and Richard Metzdorf all going to Alphabet Soup. As Heat 2 starting to grid up, that's going to be second quick time of John Combs. He's going to be joined up on front row with Jared Campos in the 43. Row 2, we're going to see the 181 of Randy Rockwell. He's joined with the 114 of Mark Schneider. Bob Klein in the 7 is going to be joined with the 1 of Jason Shook. And the 9 of Adam Maddox is going to be joined with Doug Segon in row number 4 with Nick Etten starting shotgun on the field. Now, we did touch on this earlier. 2 cars with the wrong transponders in them, thanks to our drunk pit steward. And that is, of course, the 7 of Bob Klein being scored as the 9 and the 9 of Adam Maddox being scored as the 28. Both cars in this heat. 6 laps of scheduled distance. Combs going to have the button as the flagger telling him one more before he fires him off in anger. As they work their way through 1 and 2. Here we go. And again, real quick on the the way that these guys, who are qualifying, throw a blanket over what should be your fast 3 as they work their way out of turn number 4. Pace truck makes that hard left turn behind the barrier. Green flag is in the air and we are underway. Combs fires it off and he's got Campos with him. Campos going to have the cushion as the battle. They're banging wheels. That is Bob Klein in the 7 and the 114 is Schneider. That's your battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. As you got Jason Shook in the 1 on the high side. Meanwhile, Combs leading the way side by side for second. Rockwell and Campos. That's the 43 and the 181. As the 43 running a little bit higher of a line. Campos on the real low, the 181 of Rockwell running the real low line. Campos running a little bit higher in the 43. As these guys are just starting to walk away. Klein has gotten free of Mark Schneider in the 141, and here comes Maddox in the 9. And caution is out.
Oh, what was that? Oh.
I'm trying to find it myself. Not sure what happened there. Looks like the 125 of Nick Etten got it all wrong. And he does not. So what did happen?
I can't see it.
I'm looking for it myself. Don't know what happened there. Oh, okay. It was the 04 of Doug Sagan getting 8 different kinds of sideways. Jason Shook just barely able to miss him. So Saigon running the Skull Bandit 04. That's generally referred to as stepping on one's own junk. And he definitely did that. As we are 3 laps in the books, working lap 4 when we go back to green. Combs, Rockwell, Campos, Klein, Schneider, and Maddox in right now. Those are your 6 that transfer directly into the A main. We're transferring 6. Everybody else has to run what we call alphabet soup. That's going to be the C, the B, and and so on. And only it's like only 1 transferring from each of those. So 20 cars scheduled to take the green in the A main, and looks like everybody should be pretty safe. So we might not need alphabet soup. And single file restart as we are past the halfway mark. Combs going to have the buttons. You see everybody doing the Congo line way up on the high side of the track. Combs can fire off anywhere between 3 and 4 as the pace truck getting ready to make that hard left turn. The pace truck is in as the field works its way off of turn number 4. Combs has the button and pulls the trigger coming off of turn number 4. Here we go. Popsicle sticks in the air. They're working lap 5 of 6.
Looks like a good head start for Coombs there.
Combs got a great restart. Rockwell trying to chase him down. Campos trying to hold off Klein. And we've got one into the wall as the white flag is in the air. Shook was able to get by Maddox, so Maddox going to have to go to alphabet soup. As coming off of turn number 4, it's academic for John Combs in the 87. Randy Rockwell in the 181 coming home in second. Jared Campos in the 43 in third. Bob Klein's number 7 in fourth. Mark Snyder in the 141 in fifth. And the final transfer spot going to Jason Shook in the ace. So we are going to skip the concees, and they are going to line up exactly how they finished in the heat races. First heat race is going to make up row number 1, or the inside row. Outside row goes to heat race number 2. So that means starting up on the pole, we've got the battle of the 2 guys that set quick time tonight. No, I'm sorry, we don't, because Sieber did not win his heat race. So that's going to give the pole to Rob Schaefer in the 097. Hell of a finish in heat race number 1 for Schaefer. He's going to be joined on the front row with the 87 of John Combs. Row 2 is going to go to the 24 of Nick Weatherby and the 181 of Randy Rockwell. Row 3, we see Cody Sieber, your pole sitter or quick time award winner. He's going to be joined with the 43 of Jared Campos. Ethan Camerud and Bob Klein going to make up row number 4. Row 5 is going to see Keegan Ewald and Mark Schneider. Row 6 goes to Tim Freelog and Jason Shook. Go ahead.
Sorry, just update. Interestingly, Robert Schaefer didn't grid up.
You're right, he did not.
87 and 24 up front, and yeah, so I think it's Jonathan Coombs is going to be our race leader.
That's going to be John Coombs and Nick Weatherby, but the way it's supposed to be anyways, we're going to go back to row 6, Tim Prelog and Jason Shook. Row 7 going to go to Matt Queen and Adam Maddox. Row 7, or sorry, that was row 7. Row 8 is going to see Mark Spittelmeister and Nick Ayton. Richard Metzdorf and Doug Simmons going to be in row number 9. Phil Daniels Jr. not making the call in this one, and Rob Schaefer electing to pit start it. As the field works its way down the back straightaway, the only thing that's left for these drivers to do is adjust the 5-point safety harness, take one more tear off to make sure you got a clean visor. As the field works its way into 3 and 4, Grandpa, it's time to pop a Viagra because it's time to get it on at Volusia Speedway Park for the Dirt Championship E-Series Pro Late Model Series. Green flag in the air. Nick Weatherby showing the way right now in the 24. Getting a great jump over the 357. Here comes Sieber with the 357. We are talking already.
And it looks like it was Mark Snyder got turned around.
Schneider got turned around, and that is a break for Schaefer. As Snyder able to get that car fired and back underway.
Oh, yeah, he spun like a top.
Yes, he did. Anybody want to see the vomit cam? I'm kidding. So we're working caution number 1. That's the 24 of Nick Weatherby showing the way right now. Looks like John Combs in the 87 is going to get second place back as the last completed lap. We didn't actually complete a lap, so they're going to fire him back off again here. This time Combs going to, Weatherby going to have the button in the 24 as he did have the lead when the caution flew. And looks like the light's getting ready to go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. And Chevy, if you're listening, it can be the official pace truck of ESBN too. I promise. As the field's starting to double up now, working its way down the back chute here. Again, nowhere near being able to be called a straightaway. And one thing these guys are definitely going to have to watch out for as this track starts to wear in later on in the event is that crossover gate that they just passed. We've seen that take out rear axles of cars numerous times over the past couple of weeks. As Weatherby going to have the button, field pace truck is in, green flag is out, and we are going to try this one more time. As Combs with the lead that time. Weatherby slotting in right behind him, and here comes the 357 of your Quick Time Award winner, Cody Sieber. Sieber working that low line on the inside of the 24 of Weatherby into turn number 1. Combs still showing the way. Weatherby sitting in second. Sieber trying to hunt him down, and then it gets real dicey as he's got a back Angry Wolf behind him. Weatherby trying that inside line, still trying to get past Combs, not able to make it happen that time. As Combs starting to work and we are back under caution. And Mark Spittelmeister catching more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games. Now for those of you who want to see it, and for those of you who don't, if we can get the boys in the production truck to go to the helmet cam. Actually, we've got a gyro cam in that car. So you can kind of see what it felt like for Spittelmeister to go for that tumble.
There we go. It's on screen.
That's gonna hurt.
That wasn't nice.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a first you say it, then you do it kind of moment. So 2 laps in the books. They're currently sitting on lap 3. As looks like the lights are getting ready to go out on the pace truck again. Boom, boom, out go the lights. John Combs going to have the button this time in the 87. And we've got one getting ready to exit the pits. Going to have to hold it up as the field goes by. Are you live?
Yep.
I might not be live. As the field working its way down the back straightaway, here we go. Combs has the button. As it looks like they're doing an Oklahoma Land Rush start from the looks of it, as everybody behind them all miscongealed. And okay. Now the lights go out on the pace truck. for us to not have cautions count. So this is actually kind of fun to watch. We know we're going to get all 40 laps into this event. So it's not going to really, be a caution ending race. As field giving the pace truck a little bit of space now as they work their way into the 3-4 complex. Pace truck starts to make that left turn, and pace truck behind the wall. Here we go. That's the 87 at Combs, firing it off under anger one more time, and he has a lot of company as Weatherby. And here comes the 357. It's a 3 wide goal for turn number 1, and we are back under caution. That is 66, a pre-log.
Yeah. Just we have that up there, and the 007 got a little caught up in someone's as well.
And that was the 66 a pre-log and the 007. 007 spun like a top. Pre-log got clobbered. And, the 007 just, see who that was that sent him spinning there. Looks like the 114 just caught a race car to the face. So Snyder's night just got a whole lot longer. Has some damaged goods on the 114. So a lot of unhappy drivers at this point in time. So one of the ones that's going to be most unhappy is at 357. That is Cody Sieber, your quick time award winner. Didn't get the finish he was hoping for in the heat race, as he jumped the cushion early on, was able to battle back and finish third, but currently sitting in the number 3 slot, wants a whole lot more, as 5 laps in the books. We're going to restart on lap 6. Combs, Weatherby, Sieber, Cameroon, and Ewald, your top 5, as field's starting to double up. Whoops. And pace truck is in. Combs fires it off. Green flag is back out. As Siebert and 357 on the low side, they are trying to make, and we're back under caution. At least I'm back under caution. I don't know about the rest of them.
Oh, there it is on the front straight. But are we under caution?
We are under caution. The pace truck no sooner went in and it came back out. That is the 11 of Metzdorf.
He had help from the 181.
Yes, he did. Completely jacked up 181, just sent him right around. It looks like he was starting to spin the tires on his own, and the 181 just finished him right off. So Metzdorf trying to get that car straight, and unfortunately, I think he went a lap down. And yes, I got him 2 laps down right now.
Yep.
So, and we have gone to single file restarts. The boys in the tower, they're doing race control, giving us single file this time to make sure that this is going to be hopefully a clean restart. A little teething pain so far. We've got 19 Type A personalities, all wanting to be the first to say, "Hey, I won the first Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series event at Volusia." So your top 5: Combs, Weatherby, Sieber, Cameroon, and Ewald. Campos, Klein, Schaefer, Shook, and Etten, your top 10. As the pace truck getting ready to make that hard left turn, Combs going to have the button, and green flag is in the air, and we are back underway. As looks like we're a lot cleaner of a restart this time. And here comes the 357 of Sieber. Sieber working the inside of the 24, side by side into turn number 3. Sieber on the low side, Weatherby on the high side, coming off of turn number 4. Sieber with position, now sets his sights on the 87 of Combs. And Weatherby under attack right now from the 57 of Cameroon. So throw a blanket over your top 4, and there's a pack of Angry Wolves behind them. As your battle to the lead, Combs and Sieber just slugging it out right now. Combs with a little bit of an advantage as he's running just a little bit higher, able to carry a little more momentum off the corners. As Sieber tries to the inside, way down there where there might actually be some moisture, not able to get it done that time. Combs continues to lead, and the 57 of Cameroon was able to get around Weatherby. That's your battle for third. As Weatherby sliding back, as here comes Schaefer, who started shotgun on the field. As we've got cars into the wall down the front straightaway, just banging that turn 4 wall. As the 097 of Robert,
that Jason Shook just went airborne. That was a shuttle launch. That car's done.
Yes, it is.
We saw that live. I caught that with the wide angle.
And unfortunately, jeepers. It started when he banged doors with the 9 of Adam Maddox coming off of turn 2. And he was just chasing it from there, not able to reel that car back in, hits the wall, and then here comes Daredevil, the 66, and just completely finishes that car off. And I would like to point out there are no fast repairs here tonight. So one of the few leagues that we do broadcast where there are no fast repairs. There's a lot of good cars that got caught up in that one, though. So Maddox not able to really get that car repaired. Prelog going to have to sit this one out. The 114 is Schneider involved in that one. So there's a lot of healthy cars that are now sitting smoldering on pit road as looks like the lights just went out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Field starting to form the single file Congo line as we are still single file restarts. Working his way down the back straightaway. That is your leader, Jonathan Combs in the 87, going to have the button. And don't look now, but Rob Schaefer, who started shotgun on this field, actually pit started this race, currently sits in 5th. Pace truck is in, green flag in the air. Combs fires it off in anger, and here we go. It's Combs, Sieber, Cameroon in the 57. Weatherby on the outside. Here comes Schaefer on the inside. Schaefer just throws it in there. That's your battle for 4th. As Schaefer with gets the clear coming off of 2, and we're back under yellow.
Trying to find who that was.
I think I know what just happened.
I have not been able to find it.
Okay, that is exactly what I thought happened. 181 of Randy Rockwell. Oh no, it happened right around that. No, what happened was the 114 came out of the pits as Rockwell went screaming by him, and at the angle you have to exit pit road here, the simulator through a precautionary caution.
Ah, I see. Because it didn't look like there was any actual incident.
There wasn't. That was the simulator. The simulator erring on the side of caution. And as much as I hate cautions, these caution laps don't count. So Jonathan Combs going to get the button one more time. And Schaefer is up to fourth. And I got Weatherby in the pits.
Oh yeah, look at some damage on the back of him there. Quite a bit of damage. I did not see where that came from.
So there's a good possibility that that's what the caution was for. As the green flag comes back out, Combs pulls the trigger, Sieber goes with him, and we are back underway as Schaefer working the backside of Cameroon right now, and he has Keegan Ewalt all over his back bumper right now. As we are 15 of 40 in the books. Make it happen. And again, he was scheduled to be on the pole, and the team could not get that car fired in time. They did have to pit start that car. As he slips sliding away as the 25. I believe that's Ewalt. Yeah, Ewalt in the 25 being scored with the number 2 transponder, as the 43 Campos hip check Bob Klein in the 7, again being scored as the 9. And you can really hear these guys working the throttle as this track is going dry slick. Jonathan Combs with a 10-car length lead right now over Cody Siebert. These two guys have just been at it all night long, saying anything you can do, I can do better. As they're getting into lap traffic, that's the 66 of Prelog as Combs works by him. And we've got a car way slow, way down low. That was Prelog. And he's taking it pit side. Meanwhile, Bob Klein still working with Keegan Ewalt as the two cars that have the wrong transponders in them. As Keegan in the 07 on the low side, Ewalt on the high side. Ewalt in the 25. Still working that high side, just kissing that cushion as he goes through turns 3 and 4, jumps it, going through 1 and 2, gets into slick stuff. That's going to let Klein get the clear coming off of 2, as Ewalt has to really jump on the binders to stay off the wall. As up in front, the 97 of Schneider has caught the back bumper of Cameroon. So business starting to pick up for that final podium spot as we are just past the halfway point. Jonathan Combs shows the way. Cody Siebert sits in second. Ethan Cameroon sits in third, but for how much longer? As lap traffic catches up to 357 and eats the wall. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen. Go back and take a look at who that one was.
It was the 114, I believe.
Yes?
Or maybe not.
Maybe? Matt's car. Matt's door. That was the 11 of Richard Metzdorf just eating the turn 2 wall. And unfortunately, way off the pace, and then spins it in the middle of the back chute in the 11. So that pretty much going to end his night. I think he just knocked the rear end completely out of that car. But we have 15 cars left on the lead lap. I believe 15 still running total. Nope. 16 still running as Prelog in the 66 still pit farming the hell out of that car, as that car has definitely been through the ringer a couple of times tonight. Jonathan Combs continues to show the way. He's got Cody Sieber trying to reel him in. Ethan Camerud is having to deal with Rob Schaefer, who started shotgun on the field, having to pit start that car because it would not fire when it came time to grid up. So Combs, Sieber, Camerud, Schaefer, Campos, your top 5. Then you got Klein, Ewald, Etten, Queen, and Spittelmeister rounding out your top 10. Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck as we are getting ready to fire them off in anger to start lap 25 of 40. Pace truck is in. Green flag is out, and Combs pulls the trigger, and we are back underway. Clean start for everyone. Here comes the 357 to Sieber on that low side again, trying to make it happen. And here comes Schaefer on the inside of Campos, has to back off so he doesn't get into him. Still side by side for that final transfer spot, and still side. And here comes the battle for the lead. The 357 of Sieber all over Combs right now. Combs thinking he might have him covered, but we are far from over as we are 15 to go, getting ready to end that lap. Sieber still shows the way. Combs working his inside, as Schaefer still working the inside of Camerud. Good battling going on at the front of this thing, as there is a huge gap from about 8th back. Schaefer to the inside of Camerud as they go down the short chute, or down the back chute, I should say. Nose out front for Schaefer. Camerud running that cushion, and we've got a pass for the lead as Sieber finally able to get the clear on Combs. 42 thousandths of a second, half a car length at the stripe. Side by side, they still battle. Sieber has wrestled the final transfer spot, or the final podium spot away, as there we go, as Sieber had the clear, still running that low line as we are closing in on 10 to go, this time across the stripe. Sieber shows the way. Quick time award. Can he get the win in the first Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series? We're going to find out in 10 laps or less. Sieber, Combs, Schaefer, your top 3. Throw a blanket over them right now as they've got an 8-car length lead over 4th place. Ethan Camerud in the 56. Schaefer not content with 3rd as he pulls alongside of Combs down the back chute. Combs on the high side, Schaefer on the low side, following Sieber around. Going to get the drive off the corner and wrestles the position away. Schaefer up into 2nd now. Now sets his sights on Sieber. We saw these guys battle in the heat race. Sieber showing the way in the 357. Schaefer sitting in 2nd with a nose out front of Combs. Doing everything he can, using the cushion to his advantage to carry as much momentum as he can, taking the long way around. Gets an amazing drive off of 4, drag race to the line, gives 2nd place to Schaefer, still side by side as we are closing in on 5 to go, this time across the stripe. Sieber with the lead, Schaefer and Combs slugging it out for 2nd. Schaefer with the advantage, give that one to Combs at the stripe. The cushion starting to pay dividends. Schaefer might be running out of dirt with traction on it as, Combs going to have to deal with the lap car, and we are back under caution.
Yep, that lap car, which was the 66.
66 at Tim Prelog, eating the entry gate off of turn number 4, trying to stay high, jumps the cushion, and just absolutely no grip. And If he didn't knock the rear end out of the car that time, I don't know what will. So here's the situation, folks. 5-lap shootout. Cody Sieber started 5th in this race. Gonna have the button. John Combs, who started outside of the front row, currently sits in 2nd. Robert Schaefer, who was supposed to be your pole sitter for this race, unfortunately could not make the call when it was time to grid up, elected to pit start. So he had to start shotgun on the field from the pits, had to wait for the entire field to go around, and when they took the green, until he could exit pit road. Currently sits in 3rd. Ethan Camerud going to have one more shot at these guys. He sits in 4th. Jared Campos in the 43 currently sits in 5th. As the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, 5-lap shootout in the works. Sieber, Combs, Schaefer, Camerud, and Campos, your top 5. Who's going to be the first one to say, I won the first ever Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series at Volusia Speedway Park? We're about to find out. Buckle up. It's about to get fun. Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. Cody Sieber has the button. John Combs going to have one more shot at him. Rob Schaefer going to have one more shot at him as the pace truck makes that hard left turn behind the safe barriers, and green flag is in the air, and we are back underway. Great restart up front. And that Schaefer still working the inside of Combs. Combs running that high side. He's flirting with disaster every time he comes off of turn number 2, because that crossover gate is definitely not something you want to contest with. And give the spot to Combs that time across the stripe. So the 2nd over John Schaefer. Schaefer still running that low side, and so is Sieber. You got to think that low side's starting to get pretty whooped as popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more to go. Sieber shows the way. Combs and Schaefer still side by side slugging it out for the final 2 steps of the podium. White flag is in the air. All Sieber has to do is keep it under him as Schaefer just throws it to the inside, side by side with Sieber, coming down the Sieber and Combs side by side. Sieber coming off of turn number 4, coming home with the victory, and gives 2nd place to Robert Schaefer. John Combs coming home in 3rd. Ethan Camerud able to hang on for 4th. Bob Klein with a hell of a finish coming home in 5th. So Cody Sieber, masterful drive tonight. As we are going to wait, I will be right back 1 sec. So we are just currently waiting right now for Sieber, Schaefer, and Combs to make their way to the front straightaway. And as soon as I can find them, I don't see Sieber here. There he is. So we are going to reach out to... Joining me now is your race leader, driving the 357. Not the heat race he was hoping for, but lose the battle, win the war. Cody Sieber, congratulations on being the first ever to say you won the Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series events.
Thank you, Tony.
Talk us through the heavy traffic that you had to work your way through. I know you were scheduled to start 5th, but talk us through that heat race. What went through your mind when you jumped the cushion going into 1?
Jumping the cushion, I wouldn't really say I jumped the cushion. Kind of got moved out of the way. A little bit of a racing deal. I gave too much room for Nicholas, and he took advantage of it. No fault right there. That was completely my fault. Just had a subpar heat race, and I had to make up for it in the future.
Well, make up for it, you did. you led a good chunk of this event, and talk us through how the track was changing. And we noticed that you stayed on the low side pretty much all race long.
Yeah, there in the beginning, I couldn't get the low side to work, so I just tucked in behind John, and he pulled me a good second and a half. And then we had that restart, and I decided to run the low run, and I just happened to get some drive off the corner and everything, and just stuck down there and brought it home.
Well, Cody, I mean, just masterful job tonight. Quick time, uh, started fifth, won the race with the quick time award. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank a couple of my sponsors and people I work with. Rocket Racing Setups, Richard over there, he helps me out quite a bit. My own company for promo videos, the Zebra Racing Media, do iRacing videos, promos, stuff like that. Heatwave Design, Kobe over there, Cameron Kobe over there, he helps me out with all these designs and everything. And that's really all I have to say.
Well, again, Cody Sieber, congratulations on the victory, and we will see you next week.
All right, thank you.
So that was our victor, Cody Sieber. And joining me now is the man who put up a hell of a battle. Was supposed to start up on the pole. Unfortunately, couldn't get the car fired in time to grid up. Had to start shotgun on the field, coming home in second place. Rob Schaefer. Rob, I know it probably wasn't the finish you were hoping for, but all things considered, aside of the what would have beens, masterful job working your way through the field tonight and staying out of trouble.
Yeah, thanks. I was eating some chicken wings and got distracted and didn't know the race started, but still had a really good race. It was a lot of fun racing with Cody and John there. Car was really good on the bottom, and so I'm pretty happy with second.
Well, talk us through what was going through your mind early on when you saw just melee after melee in front of you as you tried to weave your way through the carnage.
Yeah, I knew I had to just keep my nose clean and not get any damage on the car. And then once I got up to 8th or so, I knew I could kind of go for it. And there was a lot of caution, so they helped me out a lot. Everybody was still on the top, and I was rolling the bottom pretty well.
Now, did you have a setup in the car specifically designed for the low side, or was it just searching for where everybody else wasn't running all night long?
Not necessarily. Maybe I was a little lower on gear, but I don't know. I felt that there was a lot of grip in the bottom still, and I wasn't quite finding it up top, so it was just working for me.
Well, again, Robert, congratulations on the podium in the first ever Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series event. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go as you can get ready for next week?
Yeah, thank the guys putting on this league. It was a fun race. I'll definitely be back next week. And my sponsor, Full Moon Garage.
All right. Well, Robert, we're looking forward to seeing you next week, and hopefully you can improve on that second place.
Thank you.
So that was our second place finisher, Rob Schaefer. As joining me now is the man who won his heat race, started on the outside of row number 1, led a good portion of this event. John Combs, I know it probably wasn't the finish you were hoping for, but all things considered, you can't be too disappointed with putting it on the podium in the first ever Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model race.
No, it was pretty good. Those cautions definitely hurt me a lot. I had a pretty solid lead there. I think I was far enough. I don't think they would have really caught me, but fun race. Once we got going, took quite a long time to get 6 laps in, which was kind of ridiculous. But once we got going, it was a fun race. I like racing with Cody and Robert. It was a good race. I wish the top hadn't gone away as much as it did. I didn't really have much for the bottom, but fun race, and overall it was a good points day for me.
Definitely a good points day for you. As you let me go back and take a quick peek here. Yeah, I can talk right now. Really, I can. Qualified second quick overall. Led wire to wire in your heat race, and then ran up front all night long. Moving forward, you can't really fault that too much because Volusia goes dry slick, and there's nothing you can really do about it at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. I knew I should have went to the bottom before I did. I'm not great around the bottom here, and I was kind of hoping that when I set the car up that everyone would just kind of run the bottom. That way the bottom would go away and the top would be where it was at. That's why I was geared the way I was, but just didn't go my way. But it was all right. Still a fun race. I was glad everybody was at least the top 3 or 4 there. We were able to run. Me and Robert were side by side for probably 10 laps or so and didn't even touch each other. So that was fun. I hope it looked good for everybody that was watching, and fun race. I'll get them next time.
It was definitely fun to watch up here in the booth, to watch the 3 of you do what you do. So anybody you want to thank before we let you go as you can get ready for next week's event?
Oh, yeah, I got Jeff over at Reliable. He helps me and my team a lot. Awesome guy. He helps us in and out. He gives a lot of his time, a lot of his money. He helps us set up stuff, helps us get some upgraded wheels and pedals and stuff like that. Good guy. And Colton over at CZ Graphics painted this beautiful blue car, and he's always around to help a paint if I want to change something or add a sticker or change just something small like that. Kid's a talented little artist, and just Team Lethal. The guys are around. A lot of the guys are around. Some guys are busy with work, and we got a couple youngins still finishing up college and high school, so they're not on a lot during the week. But when we all are on, most of us are pretty competitive, and we're pretty big on working on our stuff and getting ourselves faster to run with a couple of those top teams, and looking forward to getting our pro license. There are a couple of us going for our pro license there next season when that time comes around.
Well, John, again, congratulations on the podium in the first ever Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series event. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir. I'll be back.
All right, so that was John Combs, our third place finisher. Joining me now, the chief cook and bottle washer of the Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series. We, of course, are talking to the 9A of Adam Maddox. Adam, all things considered, you put 20 Type A personalities on a half-mile short track, dirt track, and they gave us some pretty exciting moments tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. I was, in the back where I belong, and definitely some hard racing, especially early before we went to the single file restarts. I give these guys a lot of credit though for cleaning it up late. I was telling them in the chat I was at 4:11 last night for a real race, and it took them 4 cautions to get 1 lap in. So we beat that. So we'll clean it up and keep the excitement up, hopefully. But I had a good time racing some of these guys in the back.
Well, what you were seeing in the back, I was seeing up in front, because the battle between your top 4 and 5 all night long, all feature long, those guys were just slinging it out. No quarter asked for, no quarter given, but they kept it clean up there. And a couple of pucker moments here and there, but still, all in all, it was a fun to watch from up here.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Can't thank all these guys enough for coming out and spending their time in the league. It's our first night out. Had 19 drivers. Hope to grow that, but I'm all about, we want quality. We want to build community here where these guys have input and how we do the races and the rules. So if that's something that's interesting to you, please come on out and join us and have a good time.
Now, they can find you on your Facebook page. It's Dirt Championship Esports. Esports, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces, no nothing like that.
Correct. They can also find us at Dirt Championship Esports, same way, no hyphen, .com on the internet, and we'll have some write-ups from tonight's race and preview for next week's event.
All right, and next week's event is, don't have the schedule right in front of me, but next week's event is,
we are going to USA Dirt, trying to keep some bigger tracks on here to the first part of the schedule before we hit Weed Sport and things like that later in the season.
Looking forward to the Weedsport race, because I actually live less than a mile from that track.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I've only turned a few laps there, and it's a tough one for sure.
Absolutely. But Adam, thanks for letting us bring this to the masses. Looking forward to next week at USA, as we're going to stay in Florida, I guess, for the week. So, because that's in Lakeland, and we're not that far from it here in Arthersville.
Yeah, we set the schedule up. We're starting in the south, moving up the East Coast a little bit, and then starting to move west. So should be a good tour.
Sounds like a game plan. So, Adam, we'll let you get ready for next week, and we'll see you at USA.
Guys, appreciate all the work you put into this as well.
So that was Adam Maddox, the owner of the Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Series. Kevin, I'm nothing short of impressed from what I saw when we did have the green flag laps.
Yeah, no, I am too. And to be honest, some of those yellows were pretty entertaining as well. So, well, at least the incidents.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really nice field of drivers, and some impressive work from the likes of Rob Schaefer. Yeah, so looking forward to doing more of this. This, I think, was a wonderful start for a new Sunday night series. And I just have to give a shout out to one of our YouTube commentators. Thanks for watching and giving us a comment, Casper, mentioning the stream quality looked low. We did have it on full high res, but it seems that maybe the restreaming service or something was down resing it, but we'll get that figured out for next week for you.
I actually watched the whole thing at 1080p. So.
Oh, really? Okay, excellent.
I was checking back and forth whenever we were under caution, and we'll get that looked at. But Casper, we'll take a look at that. But thank you for the input. Again, don't forget to check out our Teespring store. You can find that link in the description below, where you can get your ESBN swag, as they call it. So real quick, we're just going to run down the finishing order, and before we let you folks go, Cody Sieber coming home with the victory after setting quick time. Rob Schaefer goes second quick. Rob Schaefer was supposed to start on the pole, actually started shotgun on the field after pit starting. John Combs went second quick, finished third. Ethan Cameroon coming home in fourth. Bob Klein in the 7, being scored as the 9, though. We'll get that sorted out for next week, coming home in 5th. Nick Weatherby in 6th. Jared Campos in 7th. Keegan Awol in
8th.
Where am I? 8th. Adam Maddox getting a top 10, coming home in 9th. And Matthew Queen in the 007 after taking that hellacious ride early in the event. Was able to get the suspension banged back out quick enough to score a top 10. Nick Atten in 11th, 12th going to Doug Saigon. Mark Spittelmeister in 13th, 14th going to Mark Schneider. Randy Rockwell in 15th, Tim Prelog in 16th, 17th going to Richard Metzdorf, as we saw him take a hell of a ride there at the end of the event. Jason Shook airlifted to the local medical center. We'll have an update on him before the next race, as he caught more airtime than a skateboard at the X Games, coming home in 18th, last car to actually take the green. So that is going to do it for us tonight. We will see you next week from Lakeland, Florida, and USA Speedway. Until then, the only thing that's left to say